All right, let's go. Welcome to the webinar, Synergy in Bytes, about mastering effective team building in IT. Few words about myself. My name is Tomasz Kot, and I am Software Development Competency Center Director at Bilenium. For more than 10 years, I've been gathering and building software development teams. From 8 years, I've been managing them. Also, I am a change manager for resourcing process at Bilenium, so quite a huge and a very important one, and I really like this job. I am also a Bilenium Inspiration Team Leader. This is a team inside Bilenium that focuses on sharing knowledge. A team of people who are attending communities, who are building communities, who are sharing their knowledge with the communities. I used to be .NET developer, so my professional career started with software development, and I'm still there. Not coding anymore, but understanding still quite few lingos. I am myself a community activist, a speaker, trainer. I have built Silesia Microsoft user group. Right now, I am working with Agile Silesia. It's more about managerial stuff these days. I am speaker at conferences, and I am a leadership trainer. So 150,000 years ago, human being has really have a tough time. Imagine living in the environment surrounded by saber-toothed tigers, some mammoths, plenty of different animals and plants able to kill you. It wasn't the best place for growth, and it wasn't the best place to evolve this much as actually human species did. So how happened that particularly weak species like a human being has overgrown all those other species that were at the time on Earth? And it turns out that for the history, the responsibility takes chemistry, because as a matter of fact, we have our own guidelines inside our bodies. They are called hormones. They are instructing our bodies to act in specific ways. And I would like to focus on the happiness hormones, and the happiness hormones divided into other two groups. So the selfish hormones and non-selfish hormones. The selfish hormones will be endorphin and dopamine. Those two you can get by yourself, and you can produce them just by your own. I won't go into much details about them anymore. But on the other hand, we've got these non-selfish hormones, which are serotonin and oxytocin. And those two are super important for us as a species to grow, because those two tell us that we need to build our existence on relations. The serotonin is the relation, the proud hormone. This is the hormone that is being released when, for example, a father sees his son standing on the top podium space while winning the swimming competition. This is the thing that you can notice while being proud for your team member to achieve something greater. And on the other one, oxytocin is the love and relations hormone. This is the hormone that gives mothers the strength to still love the kid that is being born and just give her so much pain while giving birth. This is the hormone that you can feel while looking, for example, into dog's eyes. This is the relation hormone. And those two hormones made us to decide that we need to build groups, that we need to build into teams to achieve something bigger. That's why we have survived for so many years, and that's why we have grown so much comparing to other species. Okay, I've told you things already, the words group and team. So I'd like to start with definition of actually what is a team. And the team is a group of individuals. The other part is much more important, working together to achieve their goal. And the goal part is super important. We can't say we have a team if they are unaware of their goal, or they have never set a goal for themselves, or nobody had set goal for them. And A little exercise for you guys. Inc. Magazine asked executives to estimate percentage of their workforce that could name their company's top 3 priorities. The prediction was 64% over 600 companies. Again, they have asked executives. And the answer was like 64%. Okay. How do you think, how many employees have known the top 3 priorities in the companies? Please try to answer in the chat window. How many employees could name the top 3 priorities of the same 600 companies? 8%, the first answer. Okay. 30%, 15. Okay. The correct answer is just 2%. Yeah, this is the scale of how much the difference between understanding of the top management and the employees was. This is huge. And what I'm trying to point out here, that setting goals, forwarding priorities, and sharing company strategy, values, all those things is super hard, because just to reach the employees is never easy. So what can we do about it? Couple of tactics for delivering good goals. We can use a SMART framework. This is quite simple. I really like it. There are other frameworks as well, but if you need to just pick one, pick this one. I highly recommend it. The S is for specific, how the goal should look like. There should be specific. So no place for mistakes. Everyone understands what's being assigned. They should be measurable. So you would like to see the progress. You would like to have the possibility to check what's the current progress of the task that's being, of the goal that's being delivered. If it's around 5% or is it at 85%? The goal should be achievable. So you need to make sure that all the environment is allowing the person that the goal is delegated to, that they can be able to achieve it. You would like to check if the goal is relevant. So there needs to be some kind of importance for the person who is about to deliver the goal, because otherwise they will not be willing to deliver the goal, and that's the danger of not delivering the goal at all. Also, the goal should be time bound. So the person that is getting the goal delegated, he or she should know what the time box for delivering this goal is. And not far from goal setting is task delegation. If we already know how to set the goal, the same rules goes for tasks. So if you could build smart goals, you can build smart tasks. The same principle comes out. But the task delegation, there is something different that I would like you to focus on. The thing is that not every person can have delegated the task in the same way. Sometimes we as managers, we will be delegating the task just by giving some hints. And sometimes we would like to even take someone by the hand and follow with him through all the world, through all the work going towards the realization of those tasks. And this is really important for us to judge on the maturity of the person that the task is being delivered, the assigned. So different approach of delegation goes to someone who is still at junior level, and different approach will go to someone who is senior level. Something new, something different will come to the person who is new in the team, and something different and different approach will go towards someone who is on the team for many, many years. So just bear in mind that it is our responsibility to check what the type of delegation we want to implement in this particular moment with this particular person to make sure that the task will be delivered. Clarity. I can't stress enough how important it is to have all the necessary data clarified to the person that is to take care of the task. Because if there will be some questions additional, and they won't be able to judge for themselves what's the ultimate goal, what's something that is the North Star or the value that the goal is trying to deliver, uh, they will not be able to um, fully attend this particular goal. And very good quote from Daniel Coyle, who is an author of plenty of books about organization cultures. Be 10 times as clear about your priorities as you think you should be. Setting up priorities is never easy, and Daniel Coyle has proven that it's really easy to misjudge how our teams think about the priorities we have set. This is something that really comes off easily. Another quote by Ron Friedman for Harvard Business Review. By fueling our basic human psychological need for belonging, meaningful workplace connections drive many of the outcomes central to high-performing teams. Ron Friedman is an award-winning psychologist. He's been writing plenty of articles and writing multiple researches about best place for work. And what I would like to point here that building a team is something that is never easy. To build a high-performing team is something that always takes place. Here you can see something that is called the Tuckman model. And we wanted to show you this because it shows how much effort needs to be put into building an effective and performing, in this matter, team. So once we gather a team, at the very beginning, the phase is called forming. So adding new members to the team. They don't know each other. They have struggled to build some relations. And yeah, this is something normal. We meet someone for the very first time. We need to get along, get to know each other. Once the introduction has been made, there is a clash of characters. So the more charismatic people comes out, or they become a little bit louder. Someone who is a little bit more shy becomes a little bit quieter, and the first conflicts occur. Our responsibility as managers is to manage those conflicts in this phase. So we want to let them have as many conflicts, constructive conflicts, as they need to build the norms and to build the performance. But we want to help them avoid as many personal conflicts as possible. If we manage to go through, there is the norming phase. And the norming phase is about, okay, now we have some rules for sticking together. We have some norms for working in this particular team. If those rules are common for a whole team, we can jump to the performing. But performing is never a solid state. A single change in the team dynamics causes that our team falls back into any of those stages. If a new member will join or an old member will leave, the forming phase becomes active again, and so on and so on. So what can we learn as managers here? Our responsibility is to go from the forming to performing stage as fast as possible. So we need to pick specific tools to make this happen. The same thing is being shown on 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. He points that at the bottom of results of a team, there is a trust. There are trust issues when it comes to dysfunctions. So if we will fail to build proper relations built on trust, we will never be able to build effective teams. Because the absence of trust causes fear of conflicts, this causes lack of commitment, this causes avoidance of accountability and inattention to result. And this is all on the scope of whole team, not personal ones. So first of all, we need to build the environment that will allow us to trust each other, that we can be open about vulnerabilities, we can be open about our problems, won't get judged upon them. The same goes when Google run Project Aristotle. Project Aristotle was a project run internally by Google to determine what are the traits, what are the traits of the most effective teams at Google. And as it turned out, the most important part was pretty the same as Lencioni has pointed. So psychological safety, in the meaning that we would like to have the possibility to stay open about our problems to other team members, and only this causes the latter chances for success. And how can we speed it up? Here are a couple of tactics I'd like to share. I would like you to try to use commonalities to build relations. I mean, trying to talk about how was your day, asking about is everything okay with your family, with your, I don't know, dog, I don't know, your fiancé, or anything we know about this person, sticking to the things that we know from the personal life is so much easier to build the relation, to build a rich relation built on trust, because we have something that is easy for both sides to catch on. So those commonalities are something really I can't stress enough how much importance is to by using them. Care for differences. Because we are building a team which consists from for different people, and different people means different values, different approaches to life, different cultures, and many differences. We don't want to make them feel unwelcome on the team. Therefore, working towards everyone knowing about those differences is something that we can build upon. For example, sharing those values, building some contracts or something that is really suitable for the very beginning of building a team. So this is a good tactic for new teams. Setting up a contract about how we would like to work together. And there is a very easy exercise you can run. Ask your team, what do they hate about meetings, for example? Okay. During meetings, for example, I will say, I don't like people who are getting late, and I don't like talking about religion. Okay. Everyone shares their thoughts, and then we try to turn around those thoughts 180 degrees, and we have rules for our collaboration. For example, during meetings, we avoid talking about religion, and we are always on time. Therefore, we will set every hour of our meetings 5 minutes after full hour, so everyone will get 5 minutes for a glass of water. But this is really easy, and really easy to get what people do not agree on. And it's much easier for people to share the things that they don't like and they don't agree with than trying to get what do they value. So this easy exercise will help you a lot when caring for differences. Facilitation skills. This is something that during the first meetings of the teams is super important, because new teams without the structures, without the written rules for behavior, they tend to spend a lot of time on unproductive things. So a good facilitator will bring them back on track about building actually the value, or value for themselves, or value for the project they are working on. Share the goals. It's something that has been really noticeable, that if you share goals with the whole team, and not only share the goal, but also let the whole team win and lose when the goals are being delivered or they fail with delivering those goals, tasks, epics, features, whatever. This builds this team spirit. Probably the worst thing you can do is to divide the team internally by saying, "Oh, you are the Java developer and you did really great job delivering this part of code. I mean, top notch. And sorry, but you, poor tester, you didn't deliver your part. I know that the Java developer delivered on Friday, and Friday was the last day of the sprint, therefore you have no time. But you didn't deliver because I've seen on the Kanban board that your task was still in progress and his task was finished. No, this is something that will damage the integrity of the team. They won't focus on deliver the whole thing as a team. On the contrary, something which is really popular in Scrum, actually. If there is a thing that this isn't delivered, so there is no ready state for this particular task, the whole sprint is lost. And the whole team loses. And if the sprint goals is achieved and all of those tasks that should be achieved are achieved, the whole team wins. And the Scrum says, like, try to celebrate it. And this is something important. Try to celebrate as a team. If the team's delivered, okay, share some donuts, give it chocolate, whatever. You don't need to share, like, you throw a huge party. But noticing the things that your team as a whole achieves the goal, achieves something, and the same on the other hand, the team fails as a team, is something that will show them that, okay, we need to collaborate on that. Because on the second approach, if we will tell, because of those this tester, let's stick to the tester, sorry for all testers. If the tester will fail with his tasks, and we will tell the whole team, sorry, you have lost to deliver, you have failed to deliver because I haven't seen the final result. And just cut off all the discussions about, oh, but sorry, I did my part. No, I don't care if you did your part. I didn't see the deliverables. This will make the Java developer next time think that, or about collaborating, helping this poor tester to deliver his part or deliver the things quicker, so he will have more time to deliver his part. So it's about this team spirit and team thinking. And the scoreboard. Probably this is not the best name for the thing that I have in mind. Any board that shows the progress of the tasks. Kanban board, for example. Try to show, and while having a status meeting, try to show and try to judge on the, not on the task level, but I don't know what are your levels in your backlog, but let's say we have epic, we have feature, we have PPI, and we have tasks. And let's say PPI is the one that's being assigned to the whole team. Never show the level below, so never focus on the tasks, because tasks are assigned to a specific person. Like if you want to show something, be transparent about something, try to show the first and lowest level of the tasks that are being assigned to whole team. So there will not be the moment that you will see that 4 tasks of those PPI are done and 1 is only in progress. The whole PPI will be in progress, and this is something that's matter. Whole team wins, whole team loses. The other thing I'd like to share is a pretty interesting finding from Harvard researchers. They want to check whether something like team player actually exists, and if it exists, if they can measure it, and what is his input influence for the team effectiveness. And it turns out that there is something like a team player, and more on top of that, actually increases the individual efficiency by 13%. They have 60% impact of the task-specific skill. So it means that if you have a very good Java developer, a team player is actually worth of 60% of very skilled Java developer. This is something quite huge. And the team player index, so the thing that they have been measuring in their researches, is correlated with social intelligence, but it's not correlated with IQ. Also, it can't be predicted by characteristics such as age, gender, education, ethnicity. Only the social intelligence comes here in place. So there is a research that you can actually, profiling research, you can run in your test, in your teams, to judge whether actually your employees are close to being team players. And this is the reading the mind in the eyes test. And this was a test actually designed to this was designed by autism researchers to diagnose defects in the capability to reason about the mental state of others. But the results are pretty close to actually occurrence of the team player. So if you actually don't want to run all those tests, just please focus that if you find someone that is a team player, and you can just judge by yourself that, okay, this guy is a team player because he plays on the team and not only on himself. This is someone you would like to want to value, because his presence in your team makes the whole team more efficient. And the more team players you have, the more efficient team you will get. Okay, this is about the social intelligence part. But what about building a software? We need to build the team for software delivery. And I really like this quotation by Matthew Skelton, who is a co-author of Team Topologies. He has stated that we should build a software that fits in our heads. What does it mean? We want to build a software that we know that we can build, because if there are some uncertainties in our heads, it causes huge losses in effectiveness. What I mean by that? Okay, let's build a team. We need to, of course, some simple things like, okay, less than 10 people. This is something really common in both. There are places, researchers that indicates that more than 9 people makes such communication, too much communication buzz. Therefore, the communication takes more time than actually delivering things that the team is supposed to deliver. Also, Scrum Guide makes a team of development team just 9 people, and management 3.0 points that more or less than 10 people. It's okay. There are some situations that the teams can be a little bit bigger, but the bigger the team, the more division inside they need to have, and the better the manager needs to be to handle it. So less than 9 people, but again, let's keep to that we need to stick to the point that we understand the assignment, understand the software that we are able to believe. We are building the software that fits in our heads. And the very important thing is that we need to. There's a question in the chat, and I will refer to that because it's a good one. Why is the perfect team made up of exactly 10 people? If it consists of 12 people, will it no longer be effective? And I will find this particular research, and I will share it with you guys. But there's not only one research, but there are a couple of researchers that have stated something between 9 and 10 people to be the limit for effectiveness in a team that is not being killed with communication. And more than 9 or 10 people in other researchers indicates that there is more time spent on communication than deliverables. As I said, I will try to find this research and attach it together with the recording tomorrow. Okay. Going back to the team configuration, team first approach. What I mean by that, the team needs to have some knowledge in specific fields. Of course, they need to have their hard skills. So their skills, like for programmer, it will be understanding when he's Java developer, understanding Java, so knowing how to declare a class in Java. But there are also mechanisms. So, for example, he will have to know how to build build some part of program and how to deliver it to the delivery environment. Also, they we would like them to have some domain focus. So, for example, understanding how the banking system works is very important for developers who work in banks, right? So those three areas are crucial for the delivery, and those three areas indicates what fits in our heads. Again, coming back to that. So measuring those three makes what actually we can deliver. And the last but not least, ownership. The team needs to be able to take the responsibility for what they're building. Therefore, their ownership is crucial here. The whole service must be fully owned by a team with sufficient cognitive capacity to build and operate it. And what's Matthew has shown in his books is that there are just 4 types of teams. There are streamlined teams. These are the ones that actually they're bringing some value for increasing the value of the projects that we want to deliver. And there are just the supportive teams like enabling team, complicated subsystem team, and platform teams. And because I have stated before that there are those 3 knowledge areas that we know that they are, we can separate them into the stuff which are really required ones of the skills. Without those, we can't go any further. But when looking at the mechanism and domain focus, the mechanisms are irrelevant because this is something that can be easily outsourced to another teams that they can focus on just building those. So if we have a streamlined team who has the skills and who has the domain focus, which is relevant in this part, they can focus on delivering tasks they can focus on increasing the value. So we would like to get rid of the mechanism part as much as possible to make them focus on delivering what's important for the domain. Okay? All right, and this is something that has struck me when I was a young manager back in the days. I have read in the Scrum Guide a sentence about Scrum team. It is a cohesive unit of professionals. And the professionals word was something that got me thinking a lot. Because what does it mean, have cohesive unit of professionals? I mean, are we supposed to hire only seniors? Because what? Juniors are incapable of delivering? And that was my first thought. And as it turns out, there are plenty of managers who think so these days. Because it's, at the first glance, it's so much easier to build a team of just seniors. But there are some cons of that, and I will try to prove that building just teams of seniors is something that it's not always the healthiest and the most efficient way for building a team. Because if we have a team consisting of only seniors, of course, there is the cost part. Seniors are super expensive. Comparing them to junior developers is like 3 times junior, right? So 1 senior, 3 juniors. Good question. But also, seniors are more resistant to change because they are not that so open. They know their stuff, they know their toys, they like to play with them. And it's always a little bit harder to convince them to change those attitudes, to change the tools that they are proficient while using, because it will throw them out of being senior towards being junior again. I think it's like we have less diversity of thoughts because having people of similar age, similar experience, makes them liking similar things. So all those constructive conflicts aren't occurring anymore. Also, we have succession challenges. We all know that juniors are the most loyal employees. Also, if we decide to go with juniors, there are more people that are being put into the project, who are understanding the project, because we don't have one senior, but we have, or I don't know, we don't have three seniors, but we have senior, two regulars, and two juniors. So therefore, we have 5 people in the same price. So succession is easier. And group thinking. The seniors, because they have barricaded themselves in some kind of the things that they know about, they don't want to go any broader. They don't want to try new things. So, in my opinion, it's not about building the professional team is not about building the team of only seniors, but of utilizing the knowledge that we have gathered to build a team with effective juniors. And how can we achieve that? We have come with a couple of tactics for successful juniors. And I'd like to tell you a bit more about those two things. First thing, project bootcamps. So these are dedicated internships that during which we are preparing junior to join a particular project. And this is, we are getting students or fresh juniors, and for the first month, we want to equalize their knowledge. For the second month, we are training them to understand what are the challenges in this particular projects. They are getting familiar with the frameworks, the libraries that are being used in this project. So actually, they are learning how to use code, but in the context of this particular project they are about to join. In the first year, we go hand in hand with the project owner. So in the first year, I said, sorry, it's first in the third month. In the third month, they are joining the project, but we know that they will not deliver anything. So they are working on the same task that the team is working, but their code goes to trash bin. They won't. They know that their code won't go live yet. In the fourth month, they are joining the project together. When the team knows them a little bit because they've been sharing their task, they've been attending the ceremonies, and they actually know a little bit about each other. And the team, knowing how the project bootcamp looked like, actually knows what kind of task they can share for them to be effective. So they are sharing those tasks that are compatible with the Project Bootcamp program, and they know what are the capabilities of those juniors. The second approach is tandems. So actually having a mentor and a mentee, both from senior and junior level programmer, and having them together in one project is super effective, because the junior is not afraid to ask his mentor anytime he has got a question, and the mentor knows that he is a mentor, so he cares for the mentee. Therefore, the effectiveness of the senior is, of course, a little bit lower, but the speed up of the junior is so high that after 2 or 3 months, he is really a standalone junior programmer in this particular project. He knows the project. He knows how to handle code. He knows the good practices, best practices, and so on. So this is something that we have implemented, and we've got some pretty good success with that. Last but not least, I'd like to share this quote by Steve Rogelberg, who is actually a very renowned researcher about quality of meetings. There is a belief that the cost of doing business is bad meetings. That is flat out wrong. Good leader is a good steward of others' time. I would like to share a few things about time management, because from my observations, there is a huge effectiveness loss when looking at programmers' calendars, which sometimes are full of useless meetings. So how actually we can we as a manager can we be those stewards of others' times? we would like for everyone to share what the productive meetings mean and how actually they can judge if the meeting is about to be productive or not. Oh, well, every meeting should be prepared because otherwise it will be prepared while the meeting is going on, and we don't want that. So if you see an invitation for a meeting that doesn't have a goal, agenda, or reading materials referencing the topic, I mean, you can probably guess that the inviting person didn't put too much effort while preparing this meeting. So try to convince the the organizer that his job is to prepare the meeting well for so that otherwise either others don't need to waste time on this while preparing this meeting. So prepare the goal, agenda, reading materials. Invite only engaged participants. So only the ones that actually are to be deliver something during the meeting. Do not invite people who are to be informed or consulted. Those two categories of people can be or asked before if they are consulted or informed afterwards with some minutes from the meeting, and that's enough. Stop wasting other people's time just because you think like probably they should be on the meeting. And facilitate it. Don't waste too much time on topics. Try to keep to the time box and make sure that everyone is engaged during the meeting. If you will manage to do that, just I mean, about productive meetings, we could have another webinar, and maybe I will prepare one soon. But if you take care for now about those 3 points, your meetings will be so much more productive. Also, when it comes to time management, focus on having things like quiet hours or focus time. Because if someone is not distracted, he doesn't need to change his focus all the time. The change of context is so costly. It's like give your programmers a couple of hours each day that they will know that no one will place a meeting in this period. I mean, of course, we need to define what a meeting is and what is a quick question, because if, for example, their teammate wants to ask them a question, they have a quick call. Okay, this is a place that probably, yeah, okay, you can ask me this question, but make sure that no one will invade their calendars in this particular time. They will be much more focused on delivering the tasks. All right, let's jump to the conclusions. Where to focus? Clear goals. Focus on productive team building with safety, with healthy relations. Psychological safety with trust. Proper team build and focus, and proper time management. These are the things that I think make an effective team. Also, as a bonus, if we are all managers here, if you listen to this carefully, we can define 2 traits of managers these days. We need to focus on critical thinking and emotional intelligence, and that will make us great managers in the future. Thank you all. This is the time for question and answers. If you would like to know anything, like please just use the chat window. I will read it loud, and I will answer if, of course, I'll be able to. Whoa. Okay. First question. Are there any books on the topic of team building management that you can recommend besides Lencioni? There are tons. I am quite a reader, and let's make this a challenge. I will build a list, and I will share a list together with the recording for you guys, so you will have some places to start, because I don't want to miss any of those books I like, and I am afraid that if I will try to point out the best right now, I will lose something really important. So if you need to read something for tomorrow before that, I'd say go to. Mm, Okay, let's stick with management 3.0. That would be my first go, but I will find more of those. Probably Kim Scott could be the first. Radical Candor. This will be the first. Management will be the second. So Radical Candor by Kim Scott. This will be the first. What one advice would you give yourself from the past who just started leading a software development team or any other team? Value the informal part of your time spent together. That would be my advice. As I've said, as I've sort of told you about the commonalities used to build the relations. Being a fresh young manager is always about, okay, what I should learn, what tactic I should implement. Okay, if I'm a facilitator, I need to be strict to the point. What I have learned is that, for example, value of small talks, value of being in one room, not often these days, but it happens. So, and having the ability to chat about simple things, just outside of work, those things that makes the relations, they build engagement, they build trust, they build those everything that makes you effective at work. So yeah, like value those moments much more. How do you gain confidence that hiring a junior won't consume too much of your time spent on their development? Yeah, probably you can't do it like 0-1, but we start with very hardcore tournament, and we select those guys for the junior just from the best, because luckily there are plenty of people who would like to become junior these days, and we are not only judging them by their ability, by their knowledge of the coding skills, we automatically judge whether we would like to work with them. Or my technical leaders or mentors, they judge if they want this person to be their mentee in the future. So this is a contract between me and my tech leaders that they will take care of this person because personally they liked it. They liked him or her. So this is the starting point. And later, having a strict plan for them, it's we really said goodbye a lot of times after just 1 month, because we are able to judge after 1 month whether we will be able to make a valuable programmer from this particular person or not. So it's not like we sign a contract forever that's okay, let's start and let's finish. Even if we run this bootcamp for a particular project and this project asks us for two juniors, we hire 4 just to have the space to say goodbye to the 2. All right, I can't see any questions. Thank you again for participating. Hopefully you've learned something for yourself and you will be able to take something from the things I have shared. As I've told you, I will share additional things with the recording tomorrow. And again, thank you for attendance and have a good afternoon.
Millennium. IT for people. People for IT.